All right, let's talk a little sports. It's good to see what's going on in the NBA with LeBron and the Lakers. They won a few games to come back. I don't think they'll go far. I actually think they might miss the playoffs. Um, if I'm the Lakers, I'll shut LeBron down. The Lakers are not designed to play in this NBA. They have a whole bunch of big guys that can't guard, that can't shoot. DeAndre Jordan shouldn't be on the team. No disrespect to Dwight. Dwight shouldn't be on the team. They should have kept JaVale McGee. They really needed Dennis Schroeder. And those pieces just aren't there. They had no shooting from the outside. I don't know why they got Westbrook. Watching Westbrook turn the ball over is actually pretty funny. Um, just continuously turn the ball over and like he doesn't even care. But it's not his fault because the team, even with um, Westbrook, Carmelo, asking them to carry the load with LeBron is tough. I mean, the fact that a couple of years ago, if you'd have said Carmelo Anthony would be helping LeBron James win a few games, and you would think you would be crazy. They would think you'd be in a mental hospital. So I'm tired of talking about the Lakers. I don't know why people talk about them. They're in like the 6th or 7th seed. But it's LeBron, so people talk about it. But I think if once Klay Thompson comes back, I think as long as they can keep the chemistry going in the Warriors, they'll be able to separate themselves. And I think the Warriors will win this championship if they can stay healthy. It'd be interesting to see what the Nets can do with Kyrie going further down the season. He comes back in a few days. Um, I don't know about the 50% thing. I think they should have did that from the beginning because it keeps him engaged, it keeps him healthy, it keeps everyone on the same page. The fact that you really only did this because you don't have enough bodies to play, it kind of looks desperate. But at the end of the day, it's good to see Kyrie back. It's going to see how he's going to fit. I think the biggest key with the Nets winning anything or going to the finals is James Harden. James Harden is being inconsistent. If he can get back to James Harden in Houston, um, they can compete with anybody. But it's hard to play with a big dog. So James Harden has always been able to play as the leader. Now KD's the big dog, so it's like, okay, do I be aggressive this night or that night? He has to find a medium for that because James Harden used to he would go for 40 points every couple of games, and now it's like once a month. So he has to get back to where he was in Houston and not worry about how KD's going to feel or we have to make sure we feed KD. If he plays aggressive, KD's going to be like, all right, cool, because it just helps KD. So the NBA's picking up, so we'll see. I don't want to see a UGA and Alabama part two. I hate rematches. We've been here before. I don't think UGA is going to beat Alabama. If Alabama, the only way UGA can beat Alabama is two things. They have to win in special teams. They have to get a block kick or something like that. Alabama will give up a block kick or punt return, something stupid like that. That's the only way to beat Alabama and get like two turnovers on offense. Alabama's offense is not as good as it was years ago, but their defense is just as solid. It can control enough variables where they can beat Georgia again. But if those two things happen, and say they get one or two turnovers on offense and a touchdown or a good return in special teams, that can separate them. So we'll see. It's good to see Big Ben uh, last night. Say what you want. His numbers speak for themselves. Won a championship. Played back in the day. That was a tough division with them and Baltimore. So it's good to see that he was able to stay healthy all these years because he came in the league when you could hit quarterbacks top, down, below. They don't care. You can kill them, and you have to just get up. So now there's way more protections for quarterbacks. And as you see, he can barely move, so he's kind of paying the price for those early, years of getting hit and stuff like that. But he looked good last night, and it's good to see. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. They have a small chance to make the playoffs. They have to win again Sunday. They have to. The Jaguars have to beat the Colts, which I don't think is happening. That's the biggest thing. I think even if they win against Baltimore, I don't think the Jags will win any games. But it's good to see Big Ben be sent off right. He did a lot for the game, a lot for Pittsburgh, really. Been able to stay there for so many years and stay healthy, which is key as guys come and go. So that's good. Um, Antonio Brown. It's interesting to see people talk about, we have to have care and compassion for Antonio Brown. And I agree with that. It's obviously he has mental problems and emotional issues. But this problem is he doesn't want help. Antonio Brown has been acting this way since he came in the league. Obviously it's issues with Pittsburgh, it's issues with the Raiders, issues with the Patriots, issues with Tampa, things that the average player would not go be able to, still have a job. you wouldn't be able to level up with these issues, fighting in practice, not being prepared in off season, just leaking out information, domestic violence issues, sexual assault issues, issues with um, fake vaccination cards, which now is more serious, obviously, now that we know now than when we first found out. When the first pandemic hit and vaccinations came and vaccination cards, everybody thought it was a joke. I'll give me a fake vaccination card, but now it's a felony, and now it actually endangers the health of other people around you. You don't have to get vaccinated; that's his choice. I agree with that. But once you say, I'm vaccinated, and you represent a card, that opens the door and floodgates to other people being hurt. People have to understand that these are not just athletes; these are coaches who are elderly, older. You don't know who's on these staffs of these football players, teams, and stuff like that. So you open up a Pandora's box of foolishness when you say I'm vaccinated, but I'm really not. You can just be honest. It's okay. Obviously, see what happened with Aaron Rodgers and his immunized. I don't know what that means, and that's a whole nother can of worms. But I think he needs the help, but I don't think he's going to get it. I think eventually someone's going to get hurt. I don't want to speak that out in existence, but you can see anybody who's openly throwing things and his anger issues, emotional issues, is someone that no one wants to be around. This man has children, and if he can't see that he needs the help and should get the help, he should not be around the NFL. But because he can catch, because he can get open, because he's fast, and because he stays healthy most of the season, he's going to get opportunities. And as you see, we all knew this was going to happen. Tampa put their, chips in the middle of the table with this man after winning the Super Bowl. After he won the Super Bowl, they got what they wanted. They should have said, let it go. But they brought him back. He had a fake vaccination card. They felt like he wasn't really injured. He got injured. They felt like he was, pretty much clowning on the injury thing and, whatever issues they had. He got in a fight in practice. So it's just weird to see how they continue to act like this man wasn't a problem. You have to give people the help they need, even if you can use them for a benefit. You have to say, I'm gonna ignore that, and I'm gonna give people the help. Because imagine if he got help 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, where would he be at? Where would the team be at? Where would his career be at? So we'll see. We'll talk sports later. Peace.